Hello and welcome to Quick Maths with me, Bill Haining. In this session we're going to look at multiplying decimals. Now, are multiplying decimals a cause for concern? You may Google how to calculate multiplying decimals on YouTube, for example, and you may come up with some various techniques on how to do this. And some of these can include a grid table with vertical and horizontal lines, diagonal lines, and it can become quite messy and quite complicated and difficult to remember. So let's take you right back to basics, what we learned in primary school. So in this quick session I will show you a quick and easy way to ease your concerns. Now if you remember, this is the basics from primary school, a very simple 253 times 4. So let's use a single decimal number to multiply with. Okay, so how do we get that answer? Well, it's fairly simple. You work your way along the line from right to left. So it's 4 times 3 is 12. So you put the 2 below and carry the 1 over into the tens column. Then it's 4 times 5 is 20 plus the 1 you carried over is 21. So you put the 1 below and you carry the 2 over into the hundreds column. Then it's just simply 4 times 2 plus the 2 you carried over, and that gives you 1012. So the answer to 253 times 4 is 1012. Now keep that in your head as we go forward working with more than one decimal or decimal places. Now here in this question we're asked 821 times 47, and this is where complex grids can get complex. So let's keep it simple. Let's break it down to simpler multiplication tasks. All right, so the first thing you have to do is separate the tens and the units. So you can see here from this example, you have 821 multiplied by the 7, which is this 7 here, and you have 821 multiplied by 40, which is this 4 in the tens column, because that has a place value of 40. Then what you do next is you multiply these separately. And you know that from the basics from the last slide there, it's very simple to do. So 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 2 is 14, put the 4 below, carry the 1 over. 7 times 8 plus 1 is 57. Then you go to the second part. Now because you're multiplying by a zero number, you can just put a 0 in the end column. Then you start working through the 4 number. So 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 times 8 is 32. And now you have the answer to both these parts. What do you do next? You simply add them together to get the answer. Okay? And again, going back to your basic decimals you were taught in primary school, you just add them in the normal way. So 0 times 7 is 7, 4 times 4 is 8, 8 and 7 is 15, 5 below and carry the 1 over. That 2 then becomes a 3, 3 plus 5 is 8, and 3 plus 0 is 3. So the answer to 821 times 47 equals 38,587. So don't try these complex grids, just keep it simple and break it down into easier calculations and add them together. Now let's look at multiplying by decimal places. For example here, 8.2 times 0.23. Again, a lot of this stuff can be done without calculators. It's going back to basics when you learnt at primary school. So let's do the exact same as we did before, but this time drop the decimal point for the moment and add up these numbers as per the previous slide. So you can see here now we're taking the number 82 and we're multiplying it by 23. Now it doesn't matter which order you do these in, you'll still come to the same answer. So let's see it in action. So 3 times 2, so you've got to multiply them separately. 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 8 is 24. Simple enough. Then go to the second one. Because your number's ending in 0, you can just put a 0 straight in there and multiply by the 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 8 is 16. Then like before in the previous slide, you just add these totals together to get the answer, and then you insert the missing decimal point that you took out in the first place. So you get 246 plus 1640 comes to 066, 4 and 4 is 8, 6 and 2 is 8, and 1 plus 0 is 1. Alright, then you add in the decimal point that you took out in the first place, and it fits in there. Okay, so the answer to 8.2 times 0.23 equals 1.886. Now you say, how did you put the decimal point in there? Well, it's fairly simple. Because there are 3 decimal points involved, like 8.2, there's 1 decimal point, and in this second part there's 2 decimal points. So you add these decimal points together, which gives you 3 decimal points. So when you put your decimal point in your answer, you count 3 decimal points, which is 1, 2, 3, and the decimal point fits in there. Okay, so however many decimal points there are in the question, add them together and put them in the answer. And that is multiplying decimals. So thank you.